This was the other thing. It was about temperature. There was many things coming through regarding this. So again, I'm not always sure the clear picture, but one, it was like alligators migrating north. And they used to only go to a certain set point, but it's like they're the remaining dinosaurs, right? Like they've been around forever. They're very adaptive. And oh my God, there was a lot. This had been coming through for days, and it was like just little pieces they were showing me left and right. Like some alligators moving north, but then, they never went past a certain point because the waterways get too cold, and then it's like they petrify. It's like they freeze in there, but they don't eat and all these things because they can't digest it. And what I'm getting down to, without giving you all the examples, was I think they were showing me that it's like sometimes they'll sacrifice the one because they all are one and they understand that. And so it's like, okay, you go up, you start adjusting, we'll get the signal, we'll learn, we'll understand, we'll figure out how we need to adapt in order to survive. And it's like they signal back this information. It's, because this is happening with all of us. Again, that's why it was related to the previous one. That's why. Thank you. So I just didn't see that before. Is that not just, it's all animals are signaling to one another, but all of nature is, and we're part of nature. So, trees, flowers, everything is signaling to one another how to adapt, right? So just like in nature, stuff will happen where I forget how it works. I had seen something years ago about this where it's like, one tree can get a disease, but it will isolate itself and like signal off to other trees. And if they're healthy and in a natural environment, they haven't been sprayed to death to put their defenses down and all this other stuff, if we don't interfere, then they had like a natural signal to be like, okay, I'm out. I've been sacrificed. Save yourselves. Here's what's happening, right? It was like there's some way that nature does this. And ironically, right, because you see that all throughout life and history and religions and all types of things. Okay, they're going off onto many other things, including religion, about why things were done the way they were done, but how they were portrayed the way they were portrayed. Oh God, please slow down. They're going off on a whole nother story, which we can get to, but not now. Please go back. Alligators, adaptive weather. And it's like they innately know it's heating up almost too much for them, which is their natural climate, which has been for God knows how long. And so they are starting to slowly move up, because where it was once too cold will now soon be perfect temperature for them. And soon for them, because it's different for them with time, could be a really long time for us, right? This is why it's like, don't always freak out. You might not see it in your lifetime, but nature's always telling us and showing us and forewarning us. Are we listening? And so I'm sure there's information and opinions out there and clips out there and information and scientists that can explain away everything, whichever way. But I'm just telling you what they're showing me. And I thought it was funny because I wanted to live near the beach. I wanted to be in the water more. I wanted to do all these things. But it has been hard for me to adjust to how hot it is. Ironically, because you've heard me say many a times how hot I like it, because I used to live in an area where there were 4 seasons, even though it was changing to becoming slowly but surely really 2 seasons. It's like fall and spring were slowly eking out. They were just so short, and the summers were getting longer and the winters were getting longer. And so it was changing to just, 4 down to 2. And everybody adjusted to that in the fact that we would go away a period of time in the winter, where it's like you liked the winter, you liked the season changes, you really enjoyed that, and you could always leave, right, and go into something and then come back, and vice versa, right? Like if it got too hot, you'd go away to someplace cooler. You'd travel north, and so it kind of felt like the best of all worlds. But again, as it became more like too seasonal, extreme cold and extreme heat, and I was used to going away to more warmer climates, I think in my head I thought, oh, it'd be great to live someplace, just live there year round. But then you do start to miss the variation. You just do start to miss the difference, the spice, the change. So there's a lot of messages in all of these. I'm just not explaining them because I'm sure you're picking them up and they're going too fast. Oh God. The thing that they keep circling back to is like the idea of what if we got it all wrong? In other words, a lot of times there are, oh God, I just don't want to say some of the things they're showing, but it's like sometimes, for instance, if you hear people bitching about their life, right, bitching about the way things are, right, not happy, wish things could be a certain way, but then they continue to bitch about it and continue to focus on it. Don't get me wrong, we all do. You sure know I do. And what does that do? Nothing. It feels terrible. You know, sometimes it's good to vent it out, but vent it out to yourself, right, or figure out ways to release it. I always think of painting, but it's like just express it out is what I'm saying, but in a way that you're not necessarily harming others. What they were showing is you think you have it bad now. It's like the idea of, I just don't like what they're showing, but I'm trying to spit it out because they're pushing me to, but it's like, imagine if everybody dies and they go to hell, because hardly anybody could make it into heaven. So say you followed that religion, philosophy, or idea, but what if it was true? But you think you're going to heaven because, quote, you were a good person, but you wasted away. This was your life. This was your free time. This was your visitation. This was your escapism. This was your chance to get a break. And then you go back and it's back to hell. Then the hell you thought you were living in, boy, do you wish you were living there now. Oh, that's what they're showing. That's what they're showing. God, I am slow to the uptake because they're showing me in the heat of down here, and I thought I wanted to be down here. I thought I wanted to be, and now I'm like, oh, I kind of miss the variation of temperature, right? And I miss the cooler days. And, right, it's like you were bitching about it there, so you move to where you think you want to be. I guess it could be the same thing when you hear me say, I want to go back into the invisible. You go back there and you're back, you go to hell, you're back to work, you're back to what you deemed as better, what you imagined as better. Well, what if better is hell? And you're like, oh, fuck, take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back, take me back. I'll do better, I'll live this time. I'll appreciate this time. I'll be grateful this time. And so it's just a thought to think about, or at least that's what they keep showing me. And at the same time, it is kind of comical because it's the fucked up way that we've talked about many a times. It's like, what's the old mom saying that we used to say? You get what you get and you'll like what you get. It's something like that. It's like, you like what you get and you won't get upset. It's kind of like militant and awful, but do you hear this? I can't seem to say it straight, where it's like, you'll fucking like this, or I'll make you like this, is more or less, I know I look at things upside down, but it is kind of the harshest way to say it, but it is also true. And so we can soften it a little and be like, okay, so everybody, let's get happy, but no, really get happy because it really is serving you. But we can tell you that and you don't seem to hear it or listen. And it's like, okay, well, let me put it another way. If you don't get happy and start living your life and loving your life and start appreciating your life, you think this is hell? Just wait. We'll show you hell. It does seem like misery, doesn't it? But you have to get out of that headspace, because it's very true, but some people can hear it that way, right? It's like scared into standing up straight. But it also is like, oh, you're right, I thought that was hell, but I was bitching about the best. It's kind of like being in the Garden of Eden and bitching about the Garden of Eden. And again, I argue with God. Well, God, if I'm bitching about the Garden of Eden and I wish it was this, this, and this, why couldn't you make it this, this, and this? Versus saying, oh, you don't like it? Get the fuck out. Here's hell. Oh, well, if those are my only options, then yes, I'd like to get back in the Garden of Eden. Clearly, this is better than that. But why'd you have to be a rat bastard? Is there a reason we couldn't discuss why I would prefer this and this? And I know you want me to be appreciative and grateful, and I am, and I see that you're right. I need to be more grateful, because it's kind of like such a parent mentality, right? Like, you don't know how good you have it. But some parents can be rat bastards about it, right? It's like, you're right. I understand you worked hard to get here. I get it. I love it. I thank you. That is grateful. And don't we want to keep climbing higher? Don't we want to keep doing better? I really hope that my daughter has a better life than I did. And I really hope her children have a better life than she did. Not because we had a horrible life, because we had the life we had and we want to make it better. So we keep building to make things better for one another, right? Versus you can't have it better. I went through hell, so you too will go through hell, so you appreciate what I went through. It's no longer about you. It's now the next generation. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, we often have this argument because the system is the system. The system is set up the way the system is set up. The system forces you to play the way the system wants you to play, or you're not going to like it. You're going to wish you played the way the system forces you to play. So find a way to play is really what it is. Find a way to play within the confines of the rule, or they'll make it so that you wish you did. And again, then people will hoot and holler and scream that it's a conspiracy, it's everything else. Yes and no. Yes and no. And again, how's that feel? How's that feel? And what's it accomplishing? And again, I know there's a fine line for everything, but if you stand back and look at the broader picture, and if everybody really did take that information and understand it, and we all did go within our own homes, meaning our own minds, within our own bodies, and we're like, okay, so let's just say that's the case. What are my happy thoughts? What do I wish? How would I like to feel? Because the more who do it, the more that do it. The more that set the example, the more that set the example, right? And having to stand strong in that, which again, is not always easy. When you're standing strong in it in the beginning, it feels easy because you're so aligned and it feels so great. But the longer you stand there and you're around people who aren't encouraging it, but instead are envious or angry or jealous, they tear away at you. And you slowly, it's almost like give way. It starts to be a form of resistance when it's like, why is there a resistance here? What is happening? Right? It's like, I'm just being me, you be you. Like, why does there have to be a tearing and a clawing or resistance? But that's what ends up making it challenging, just living in this world today. That was the other thing they were showing. It's like sometimes some of these messages I don't love, but ironic in what I'm saying. But it's like they couldn't stop the dam. It was like the dam was starting to break, and they kept trying to plug up the holes. They kept trying to control, which is often what happens. People trying to control other people, and sure enough, that will eventually burst. And so that's kind of the idea of what they're showing. It's like people trying so long to tape up the holes, get rid of the leaks, so to speak, this kind of thing. But they can only do it for so long. But so then it gives them enough time to reassess, and they're like, okay, let's do it. Let's just do it. Just let the dam fall down. With the dam falling down, it still distracts everybody. So it's the idea of the tremendous amount of white noise out there will drown out the few that were the lighthouses, the few that were helping steer the ship to safety. And so even if you're trying to plug up, like originally they were trying to maybe plug up the lighthouses, plug up the few that were shining a light in the right direction for those that were interested in listening or following. And so they dimmed down those lights enough, but more and more keep popping up because it did reach enough people. It did wake up enough people that it became a slow undercurrent, a buildup. I'm not sure what they're showing because it's almost contradictory, but they are showing there is still, I guess it's like still a mass majority of people who don't fully get it. They haven't fully integrated it. It's like they're not really capable of being the lighthouse. So it's almost like sound like it, look like it. It's like showing them all mimicking it or almost it, but they don't fully get it. So it's like chaos or pandemonium, meaning it does drown out the few true. And so then it's I'm not sure, it's like they're showing it's almost like it's kind of like give them what they want, but in such an excess overdose of it that they no longer want it. So it's almost like it's like that's why they were showing me the chiropractor the other day. It's like that. It was like that mentality of if enough people get into doing it, they'll get into doing it for the wrong reasons. And when they do it for the wrong reasons, it'll then give that segregation, that population, that whatever, a bad rap, because enough people will misrepresent. I went once and then I had to keep going back. Well, yeah, because there's stressors in this world. Nothing lasts forever. Why would you think there was a one-time fix? You have that ailment because of other issues. You have to get to the root cause. They're there to help you release some pressure, release that valve, but you might have stress later that day and that valve goes shut again. You have to keep opening, but you also have to do your own part. You have to do your own work. That's why all these fixes are wonderful assistants, so you don't get to the emergency situation, but that doesn't mean use that quick fix or that release or that downtime to then not do anything. It's not for you to just give up or let somebody else to do all the work. It's like, okay, now this was taken care of. Why did this arrive? Where did this come from? Why do you think that tension, that pain, that sore, what was it telling you? Where was it in your body? What does that mean? What's that associated with? It's like you have to do your own work, your own investigation work, your own love of oneself, and stop relying on that outside yourself. We need that outside ourselves sometimes because we don't know this yet. So then when you do know it, okay, utilize them to get yourself in enough of a position where you're aligned enough again that you can figure it out and then keep it up. Does that make sense? I hope so. Yeah. They're back to showing the dam and then it just bursting through. And the idea of it ends up becoming white noise. But then everybody turns off all white noise. So I guess they're relating to that to the chiropractors then. It's like if you hear enough people say, it's just a hoax, or it's like, well, you don't understand why or what. But if you don't understand why or what you're doing or why you're going to what you're going to, or if it's not explained or many, 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 many things, somebody could tell you something that is, quote, true because it's their truth and their understanding from their perspective, but it's not the truth. And there's a difference. There's a huge difference. There's a lot of things that are true that are your truth, that they're not pure truth. And there is a difference. And so just because it makes it true for you does not make it true for all. And yet you can plant those seeds in people and they're like, oh, that is true. Oh, okay. All right, so then it is a quick fix. I shouldn't go there anymore. And it's like, well, what was your point in going there? Your point in going there was to get some relief. And now that you got some relief, are you able to now focus on solving the root problem so that you can move forward with ease? Or did you take that release and think you could just jump into bliss and then it keeps happening and you're not sure why it keeps happening? Well, because you still have your own work to do. It's this idea of like, karma or cleanup work or, and again, it all depends on you and how far away from you are. So somebody else, the second they have a little ouch, they get the nudge to go to a chiropractor, and then they never have to see that chiropractor again because they're not used to having stressors in their life. It was a momentary, just a fleeting thing. And so people could be like, well, it worked for them, but not for me, because every single person is different and has a different way of operating and thinking and running their show, their life, their dialogue in their mind, their habits, their lifestyle. All of these things matter. But it's the idea of if you don't understand all of that, you get swept up into the rhetoric and then you paint everybody the same. Right? All chiropractors, or all doctors, or all dentists. And you don't seek out the ones that have the same philosophy, mentality, understanding, you're on the same page with, all these things. We could go on and on and on and on and on and on. Let's not. I think you got enough from this one. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.